Good evening, guys. Welcome to another episode of Amber Unfiltered. Today, I'm just going to give you some quick updates, kind of let you know what I've been up to these past couple of days. But before we do that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you want to cash at me at Amber Unfiltered Show, that'd be greatly appreciated. So let's get into it. Right now, I have like a month left of school or community college, I should say, and then in January, I'll be starting my bachelor's. I'm kind of just over it at this point. I think for a while, or probably even since the start of the semester, I've kind of just been disconnected or like dissociated. I kind of am just exhausted. The my science class, the workload isn't too overwhelming, but it's not the most cohesive class. A lot of the times I feel like confused. Just having that camaraderie with my classmates kind of has helped me get through, but I don't feel motivated. It's nice to not be slammed with homework. Pretty much all of our work is completed in class with the exception of the group project, but nothing is like clear. A lot of the times he gives instructions and it's not like it doesn't make sense. A lot of us are like texting each other trying to figure it out, or we just like ask each other because we're sitting right next to each other and we're like, what the fuck does he mean? Or we have to like go up and ask him questions and then we just get more confused because I think unfortunately our professor might be a little confused or maybe slightly senile, which I feel bad about saying, but like I would think for a science class, like for labs, that they would be more hands on, like maybe not dissecting a frog per se, but it's like he'll be like, okay, we're gonna do like I think one of our labs was like a food web lab. And we had to pick an animal in like the Chesapeake Bay and we had to like look it up and then do a PowerPoint presentation with the classmate. And I thought it would be more like I thought it would be cool like if we did like a 3D simulation like using Chat GPT or AI or like a website that I kind of had it curated. I was like there's probably so many programs and stuff out there that he could have like used, but I was like I'm not the professor, I'm not the one who went to school, I'm not the one who signed up to be a teacher, so I can't tell him how to run his classroom. But I wanted more. Like the content that he's actually talking about is really interesting, but just the presentation or the execution of it is just like it makes me not invested. It makes me just check out, and then I just kind of feel like my time is being wasted, which is so mean to say because I told y'all like lately he's been so late, like 45 minutes late, an hour late. Like he'll send us an email like an hour or two before class, and then he'll send more emails saying like how late he's gonna be, and then we're like getting ready to leave, and then he shows up, and we're just like, oh, because I think the community college rule is like you have 15 minutes, you wait 15 minutes, and then if the professor doesn't show up, you can leave. But we try to give him grace. Like, we try to wait. We try to, sit and give him grace. But it's like, you're late every week. And I feel bad because he does have a far commute. But it's like, bro, you need to plan better or maybe make the class virtual so that you don't have to put that pressure on yourself to commute. Because I feel like it could be virtual. A lot of the stuff he does lectures, he does these things called Kahoots, which are like little quizzes. It kind of reminds me of like Khan Academy. It's kind of like kiddish a little bit or elementary, but they're really cute. You can like have little avatars and stuff of like yourself as like a little animal or whatever. It's pretty cool. But I don't know. I need a teacher that is organized. I need a teacher that's communicative and I mean very clear. Like tell me exactly what you want because I want to perform. I want to do well. And I want to give quality work, but I can't do that if you're not telling me what you want, and then you do, and then I have to ask you 20 follow-up questions because I have no fucking clue, and then he just changes his mind all the time. So it's like, where do I go? And then right when you get into the flow, like I remember, okay, thinking the first 3 or 4 classes, I was like, oh, this is about to be a piece of cake because all he did was play videos the entire class for 6 hours. And I was like, okay. And then the next class, he changed it into something else. We started doing labs, and then he changed it to something else. And I feel like I can't get my footing. And I feel like with the professor, it's like going on a blind date. You have no idea what you're gonna get, and you're stuck with this person for a couple of months, and you kind of have to figure out their taste, their style, what they want, their communication, and different things about them and their personality, and kind of their moods and things like that. Because teachers or professors are humans too, or educators are as well. So I try to give them grace, but he's just kind of like all over the place. I think he kind of just changes stuff at the drop of a hat. Like he does this thing where he'll explain like the agenda for the class and he'll send us an email ahead of time, and then he changes it. Like he'll be like, okay, at 1 o'clock we're gonna do a quiz, 1 to 1:30 we're gonna do a quiz, and then we're gonna do a lecture, and then you guys are gonna have an hour for break, and then he'll just completely switch it, and I'm like this, like I can't get my bearing, I can't get my footing or my rhythm. And I was like, I'm pretty good about figuring out like a professor's temperament and what they expect from me. And I just don't feel like I'm getting that. So I think it's just making me check out. And also, it's kind of boring. Like, I feel so bad saying that, but I think the content that he's actually presenting is interesting. It's just the execution, and he's just all over the place, and it just makes it really frustrating, and I just get agitated, which is so bad. I was like, I need to be better about having patience and grace and understanding that he's doing the best that he can. For my other class, it is through Zoom. So our professor assigns us one assignment a week, and we also have a project in that class. But one assignment a week, it's like a discussion. I don't want to say a discussion post. Let me back up. He just assigns questions regarding specific things, and then we answer those, and then we talk about it in the next class. So we meet on Zoom Tuesdays from 7 to 8. There is almost 100 people in that class. I was like, bro, no. I thought it was a joke when I saw how many, like the number just kept ticking and ticking up on the little Zoom counter when on like the first day of class. And I was like, bro, what? It's just like overwhelming, because I was like, I've never been in a class with this many people. And I know I'm going to, a traditional university, so that probably will be the norm. But I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not used to this, because community college is much smaller. Like, I think the most I've ever had in a class, maybe 40 or 50, if that. But a lot of my classes have been like in the 25 to 30 range or something like that. Sometimes even smaller. It just depends on the course. But the humanities class, the teacher is really nice. He seems really smart, and he seems very passionate. I just feel a disconnect. And I think it probably started with me. I was taking a prep course to get my HR certification at the same time that I started that class. So I think I was just feeling pulled in too many different directions and burnt out. So I kind of was just checked out, because I just felt like I was running on fumes, just trying to commit to everything at once. And I was like, why the F did I do this to myself? Why did I book my schedule like this? But I thought I could handle it, and it was just wearing me out. And I just felt like I was just attending just to attend. Like, I wasn't present, and I wasn't like participating. And I feel so bad, because normally I'm not like that. I'm usually pretty confident. I'll answer, I'll engage. Like, last semester I took a freaking theater class, and it was so fucking amazing. Like, I love that professor. Shout out to Professor Mariah, like Whiteman, I think was her last name. She was fire. I might have got her last name wrong, but shout out to her. She was amazing. She was like an actress. She lived in like Miami. Like, she was like this white lady with seasoning. Like, she was so fire. Like, I fucking loved her class. Maybe I should do a video about that. But she was lit, and like all my classmates were engaged. We'd like read plays, we'd like act, and we would talk about so many different things. And it was just such a welcoming, like, safe space. But also, like, our classmates just like rooted for each other, and we were just pushing each other, like encouraging each other, like giving each other compliments, like genuinely meaning it. I made some pretty good connections in that class. But anyway, in my humanities class, it's just too many people. And I think also, like I said, having the HR class and then doing that, it was, and then the science class on top of that, plus working 40 hours a week. I was like, bro, I'm being pulled in too many directions. I should have thought more clearly when I booked this, but I thought, okay, it should be easy, it'll be a little bit of an overlap, but I can handle it. But really, it just made me so freaking tired. Like, I don't know how I survived doing all that for like a good 2 or 3 months. But anyway, yeah, and also, so the way that the humanities class is structured is that he will, ask us about the last week's assignment, like the questions pertaining to it, and then he'll give the floor to people to talk for like 15 or 20 minutes, but sometimes it goes over. So that's almost 30 minutes right there. Keep in mind, this is an hour-long class. So then, what was I going to say? So then he'll put us in breakout rooms. There's 15 fucking kids in those rooms, and I'm like, bro, I don't want to talk. I don't want to be on camera. I just feel like I've shut down. I'm kind of just like a hermit. I'm like, I'm not coming out of my shell, like, unless I absolutely have to. And something that's kind of wild to me is I'd be like the only one that's not on camera, and sometimes our professor will pop in to like engage and hear what we're like saying to each other, and he'd be sending me like a little notification like, please turn your camera on. I'm like, bro, I don't want to turn my camera on. I look dusty. I ain't got no makeup on. My hair ain't combed. I ain't even take a shower. Like, bro, I'm looking dusty. But I'd be like, I'm about to turn it on, whatever, fine. But, or sometimes I just don't, because I'm like, I don't know, I'm just so checked out. I think I've been in community college for almost 5 years straight. So I'm just kind of like, I'm done. Like, wiping my hands of it. But, because I went part-time. I couldn't go full-time because I was working full-time. I was like, if I didn't have a job, I probably would have went full-time. But maybe not, because it is still a lot of work. I would do 2 classes a semester, but sometimes I've had setbacks, like where maybe the professor was too hard, or I've had to retake a subject again, or change something. Like maybe I had a scheduled for 2 classes, and then maybe one it was like overwhelming, like the course load or the professor was too demanding, so I had to change it or just drop it. There's been semesters where I've like paid for all my classes, had everything set up, ordered my books, and then I go look at what the demand is, and I'm like, bro, I can't make this. And I'm pretty confident in myself in my academics, but or my academic life, but if I genuinely feel like I cannot pass, I will drop the class and I'll be like, okay, maybe this semester I just need to take one class. And sometimes that works, or I'll like stagger them where I'll take one, like the first set of classes, like the first 7 week set of classes, and I'll wait like a little bit and then go take one later on so I'm not like overwhelmed and burning myself out. But it just depends. But I've had so many setbacks, man, but I'm appreciative because I'm glad I didn't give up. Like I told myself, okay, if you do take a semester off, you got to hit it harder next time. Like I really do love school. I love learning. I love pushing myself. There's been times where I've turned stuff in super last minute, like the day of, and that is not like me. Like I'm usually ahead. But these last couple semesters have been so freaking challenging. I would say last semester wasn't as bad. Actually, no, I take that back. I took a theater and what was it? I think it was intro to mystery, literature, and TV, or TV and film. It was something like that. I think it was like literature and film, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember the exact name of the class, but shout out to Professor Pilla or Pia. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's spelled Pilla, but he was fire. I took him for a previous class. I took him for intro to the short story, and he's fire. Like, but his class was so hard because it was analyzing literature and film. We'd had to read like 300 or 400 page books in like the span of a week, write a cohesive essay. Like the assignments weren't as like, it required a lot of critical thinking, but a lot of like, it was like heavy analysis. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like it wasn't just like, oh, I can complete this in one sitting. Like you had to really think about your answer and like really pull like for that response. Like it was pretty hard. And then a lot of times he would have us compare multiple sources of media. Like I think one we had to do was like for Sherlock Holmes. There's a character in the series Elementary. I think her name is like Irene Adler, but in the original story, Irene Adler was like the swindler who got away from Sherlock. Like she outsmarted him, but we had to watch like the series Elementary on BBC. Then we had to like compare it to another BBC rendition of Sherlock, and then like a movie. Like it was really hard. I think I had to watch like 3 or 4 movies and like, or like TV shows and compare them. Like his class was so hard because the demand was so heavy, and like the turnaround time was like a week, a week, a week. And sometimes, like, I think the assignments were due on Fridays. I'd be like Thursday night, like, still working on it. Friday, like, right after work, I'm still working on it. But I'm like, I got it turned in. Like, that's all I can say. It doesn't matter, when you turn it in, just turn it in. Like, push yourself. It's so hard to stay motivated, especially when you're working. Like, now I feel different. Actually, no, I don't feel different because I feel like shooting content is a full-time job. Even though I'm not getting paid yet for it, it is actually as demanding as having a full-time job and going into an office. It kind of reminds me of the same thing, but in a different way. But I'm being stimulated and my mind isn't numb because I'm doing something that's fulfilling and that's somewhat creative. Even though there is a entrepreneurial or technical aspect to this, I do actually really like making content. I really like making stuff for you guys, but it is kind of hard juggling both. Like I wanted to say something as well too. I'm gonna try my best to edit videos and give you like quality content, but some of them just might be like this where there's no visuals, there's no audio, video. I was gonna say audio. Yeah, no video, no audio. Like sometimes it might just be straight me talking into the camera because I do have some really big projects due, and I've like barely scratched the surface on them because again, like transitioning from not working and juggling this with school, it is actually pretty tough. Like this week I was like, damn, I don't know if I can do this, but I was like, I'm just gonna push myself. Like it doesn't matter. Just keep going. And I really want to get more feedback. I want to start getting consistent feedback as well, but also just reaching new heights and making really unique content. I don't want to be like other content creators. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because there's some excellent ones out there. There's some I really like. I want to shout out to Ashley Miller. I love her channel. I want to shout out Just My Opinion. He's a reviewer, film critic, TV critic. He's phenomenal. I've been watching his series he's been doing with Lamont Wilson, I want to say. He does reviews of anything that you can think of, or probably all the shows and movies you're watching, he's watching. And he does such a great job, and like the graphics and just like the content that he's giving is phenomenal. I love Jessie Woo. Like I really, really want to meet Jessie Woo so freaking bad. In my head, we're friends. Like she's my bestie on the internet. I love Simone Redwine's channel, Girls That Legal. I love how she's been like coming for Christian Gold and Jennifer Williams from Basketball Wives, excuse me. There's some other ones. Oh my gosh, On the Rocks with Jada. Oh my gosh, she's my Memphis bestie. Auntie's Advice, she does like more reality TV, but she does movies and stuff like that and pop culture. But she's fire. Like she does like anything on TLC pretty much. Love After Lockup, 90 Day Fiance. Like I want to get to that status. Like I'm inspired by them, even though I don't know them, even though they don't know me. But I'm trying to get to that level. I just know I'm gonna have to be patient, but I also need to be consistent. But you know, school and this come first, obviously. But I just wanted to let you know that I'm not gonna have as much time right now. Probably in like December, January, or like mid January, I'll be able to. But even with the holidays, I feel like I'm gonna still be busy. But I want to tell you that I do care about the content that I make and that my hope is to continue editing. But with school, it is kind of hard because editing takes all day. Bruh, it is so exhausting sometimes. Like yesterday, I think I was editing and like uploading and everything from like 2 o'clock to like almost not. I didn't eat dinner till almost 10 o'clock, and that is, if you know me, I'm a grandma. Like I'm like where's the food at 4:59 p.m. Like I usually am an early bird in everything I do. Waking up early, eating dinner early because I have a set routine. But now I'm more flexible. But I really do care about what I'm doing, and I hope that you can see that I care about what I'm doing and that I care about you guys as well. I was trying to think of new ideas and things to do. I was like, damn, should I do a Q&A? Should I do this? But I was like, I still feel pretty green. I just need to keep churning out content and, you know, the rest will come. But I just have to, like, trust the process, you know. It's like I'm kind of like Stevie Wonder right now. But anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know where I'm at with school, kind of where my mind is at. I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know how you're doing mentally. If you're not doing well mentally, I hope that something good happens to you this week to help get you out of that funk. And even if you're doing okay, I hope that you get to good or that you get to better. But anyway, I love you guys and I hope you have a great night. Take care. Bye.